Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to GEEXX Reads. I want to get this done quick because it's roasting in here. Whew. Anyway, today I want to talk about Truth of the Divine by Lindsey Ellis, an image which you will see here. As far as the image over my shoulder, it's the best one I could find on the internet. The rest of them all suck. Truth of the Divine is the second book in her Numina series, I guess is what she's calling it. Is a direct continuation of pretty much the first book. There will be some spoilers for book one. I'm not sure how big, but anyway, if you haven't read the first book, there will be some minor spoilers. The main character of the book continues to be Cora. She is still the go-between between the U.S. government and the alien who is known as Ampersand. How would I describe it? The relationship hasn't gotten any better. The U.S. government is basically trying to, the U.S. military wants to, take the alien technology and weaponize it, which of course they do. This book takes place in 2008. Because of the events of the first book, the fact that the U.S. government has been hiding aliens for decades was revealed. Through the fallout, Bush resigned, Dick Cheney is the current president. There is now a third party who, is going on the alien fear platform. Basically, if we give these aliens, equal rights as people, it will undermine our society, yada, yada, yada. Same old song and dance, fear, hatred, and propaganda crap that is relevant today. Cora's father, Nils Ortega, still continues to be a shadowy figure in the background who is a massive douche who cares only for himself and his own power and his own fame. He's a refugee from the U.S. government, living in another country, posting stuff online. All that's holdover from the first book. That stuff was going on then. It's still going on now. Some of the same characters appear. The CIA agent Sloan Kaplan is here. There's a new guy, General Porter, who treats Cora like she's a bug he stepped on. How dare this 20-something girl be their intermediary between an alien civilization? But she's the only one Ampersand is willing to talk to. Ampersand is keeping away from the other aliens by choice. He doesn't want to be in the same room with them. Partly due to the events of the first book, there was definitely a falling out amongst the aliens who are here. Cora is dealing with basically PTSD. She has a lot of trauma from some of the events in the first book. She was attacked by one of the aliens named Ellis, severely injured. Ampersand was able to heal her without, she's got no scars or anything, but she still has a lot of emotional scars. So she's dealing with, post-traumatic stress disorder. She's, all that stuff. The situation deteriorates, as you knew it would, just with the government trying to take control of the aliens, demanding that they do things for them, trying to threaten them when they so outstrip us technologically is ludicrous. But it's what the U.S. military would do in this situation. If you don't play nice by our rules, we won't play nice at all, kind of thing. We're introduced to another new character named Kave. I think that's how he pronounced his name. His family were refugees from the Middle East. He is a reporter for New York Times. Does it say? Yeah, it doesn't say, but either like New York Post, New York Times, something like that. I think it's New York Times or the New Yorker, something like that. One of those publications, New York Times or the New Yorker. He kind of gets thrown into the mix. Another new alien is introduced, which they call, they start calling them Enola Gay after the nuclear incident, the coding for it, but they decide to change it into something less troublesome, like Nikola, after Nikola Tesla. Um, some background on the aliens. The alien race, we have named it the amygdalans, because they have almond-shaped eyes, I guess. But they form in their society, and they're what they call post-organic. They're cybernetic. They still have a human, an organic brain and neural network, but the rest of their body is getting completely replaced by machinery. They have emotions, they have thoughts, they're very alien, they're also fairly large, and the bodies that they inhabit are somewhat insect-like. They, since they do not reproduce, organically, they form families called files, or symphiles. In the first book, Ampersand basically somehow mentally brings Cora into his file, something he didn't think, that no one thought would be possible among the amygdalines, among the aliens. They didn't think it would be possible for humans to actually be able to become, and it's like a permanent emotional psychic bond kind of thing. The new alien, which is the whole reason I brought the new alien, Nicola, is part of Ampersand's file. Initially, their little family group, their file had 10 people in it. There are now only a couple left, of which, Ampersand and Nicola are two of the remaining originals. Turns out there's a third one that's still alive, but, we also learn that Ampersand has been keeping things from Cora and from everyone else. Nicola is much more honest at some, for the most part. I like Nicola. I really do, as the alien. Let me see. I like the character directions between Nicola and the rest group. Kava, the new character, for me, Lindsey Ellis' writing has improved. This is definitely, I think, better written than the first book. I really do. So any criticisms I have, please take that into that's more of a personal thing. One, Kev is kind of too perfect. I kind of know why Lindsey Ellis did that, why she wrote him this way. Narratively, he kind of has to be, but it bugged me. He was way too nice, way too perfect. He's not flawless. He's not ultimately perfect. He's made mistakes in his past. When we learn about his backstory, he makes mistakes in the current situation. But he's still way too good of a guy to be real, I think. So that kind of bothered me. The other thing that bothered me about his character was for the first time, we see things from his point of view, from another character's point of view, from Kava's point of view. There are a couple chapters from Kava's point of view. And again, I understand why Lindsey Ellis did that. It's important to the narrative. It's important that we see things from his perspective. But personally, I didn't like it. Like, the first book was entirely from Cora's perspective. The book up to Kava's introduction is entirely from Cora's perspective. The only other stuff we get is like news articles, television things, television news, emails, blog posts, chat room stuff. We'll hear like side conversations that are happening around the world and amongst individuals, but that's the only other point of views that we ever get up until Kava's introduction. We actually get chapters with him as the main point of view character. And this is kind of Cora's story, so having that kind of threw me off. Again, it is not a criticism of the author or of the story. It is something that, and like I said, I understand that for the way the story progresses, that is important. There's a reason we need to see things from his point of view. I just didn't like it. It is necessary to the story, but again, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think she could have written things differently and not used his point of view, but it would have made certain things more difficult to understand. So I think it was necessary. Sorry, heard a noise. The way this ended, the ending itself, is kind of a cliffhanger. Not exactly. I mean, there's a resolution to the plot line, but you know it's got to go from this point. You really know it's got to go somewhere. You really need, there's like, oh wait, what's going to happen now? Like I said, it resolves the current plot line, but the current plot line does not end in a clean resolution. Let's put it that way. There is definitely something that's going to happen after this, which is good because the third book just came out about a month ago, which is why I kind of say, okay, I need to read this now so I can get the third book. I'm sorry I waited so long to read this because I really, really did enjoy this. I burned through this very quickly. Probably would have burned through it more quickly if I wasn't involved in the book club and I had to stop and read something else for a couple of days to get caught up on my book club. So that's Truth of the Divine by Lindsey Ellis, my half-ass review. I enjoyed it. If you like the first book, I would recommend it. If you like alternate historical science fiction, because this obviously, aliens were not exposed in 2008, so this is an alternative past type of thing. But I think I think the series itself is a really good first contact story. I mean, book one is obviously the first contact part, but book two is more the how would society react if it was revealed that aliens were on the Earth and the government had been hiding them for 30 years or so, however long it was. And I think, given what we've seen of, people willing to stoke people's fear for their own political gain, I think it's pretty accurate. Depressingly accurate as a thing, but definitely an A. Give it a grade of an A. We're not going to go A plus, but it's not perfect in my opinion, but it's a solid second entry into her bibliography. So I don't do segues well. As always, thanks for watching. If you like this crap, there's other crap out there. And until next time, good hunting.